Stop posting about baller. I'm tired of seeing it. My friends on TikTok send me baller. On Discord it's fucking baller.
Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome to the first match of the round of 64 for the North American Mania Tournament 2023. My name is Sparky, and I am joined in the commentary booth by none other than Siloska Els. Siloska Els, how you doing?
Well, I don't know who Siloska Els is, but I'm doing fine right now. How about you? How are you doing yourself?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. So excited to finally get these matches underway. We have so many matches to go through with it being round of 64. 32 different blocks are going to be played throughout the weekend. Not all of them going to be streamed because everybody loves playing at the same exact time. So we'll try and bring you guys as many of the matches as we can. And we're going to start it off with Hello Sun going up against Ketzu. This is going to be one of the widest seed discrepancies we have outside of like 64 taking on 1 this weekend. Hello Sun being, I believe, a top 5 seed in this tournament. Ketzu making it in at one of the 60th seeds. So it'll be very interesting to see how this one plays out. The roles are underway. The warm-ups were played off stream. So we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, so to be more specific, Hello Sun is, if I'm not mistaken, top 2 in the scenes. So you can kind of expect that Hello Sun would be able to put off a wonderful performance here, because it's kind of expected that as a top 2 seed, you are expected to be good not only later on in the game, but also to be able to perform in the early stages. I mean, what's the point of being seed 2 if you're not able to balance it out like all throughout the tournament, right? So I'd have to say this is the early game, and I do think this is everyone's best chances to take points off of the opponents here, because these maps are not that physically difficult, and it's not exactly out of reach for everyone to be able to play. So if they want to get their chances in taking points off the higher seeds, this is going to be their best chance.
For sure, and I believe during the introductions, the players did roll. I think Ketzu won the roll, and they decided to protect Rice 3. And it looks like Hello Sun is responding with Hills Have Eyes. Rice 2 for the protect. So all Rice protects so far. You imagine the LNs might not be long for this world. Any tournament that doesn't have SV in them, the LNs usually become the next target for bans for most players. There are definitely some LN-oriented players in this tournament. Hello Sun being a very prominent LN player, but very, very accurate in early game Rice. So probably just going to want to stick with the comfort, not reveal too many of their scores during this round in particular.
Well, we just have to wait and see for ourselves. I mean, Hello Sun protecting a Rice makes a lot of sense. Although I gotta say, for a big seed disparity, I would have probably suggested protecting long notes, because the thing about lower seeds is that they tend to be less well-rounded than their high seeded counterparts. And right now, that actually is kind of going to be contrasting what I just said, because I did say that the lower seeds tend to be less well-rounded, and now Hello Sun opting to ban an LN chart, which I would have thought lower-seeded players would probably struggle on.
Yeah, but it can also be one of those things where, like I was mentioning earlier, with these early rounds, you definitely don't want to give away too much information to future opponents. So maybe this is an attempt to not reveal too many of their scores in the LN field, because when you start getting towards those later rounds where you start meeting those more well-rounded players, you might want to be able to pull a fast one on them, make them think like, oh, this player can't play LN, I'm going to start protecting it, and next thing you know, you get absolutely destroyed in terms of accuracy. So right now all we're waiting on is for Ketsu's ban before we get this official match underway. Be interesting to see what the first pick will be. I imagine we're probably just gonna see all 5 rice maps played, probably just 4 actually, now that I think about it. Unless we see some breakpoints here from Ketzu, so...
Alright, so hello Seattle. Well, looks like these two players do not want to play LNs this time.
Nah, no LNs allowed. We had a full tournament of LNs. I think the noodles are unpalatable now. So yeah, goodbye, Seattle.
Goodbye, Seattle.
Goodbye, Seattle. We're not going to Seattle.
I really like that. I really like that. Although, here we go. We'll be having, I don't know, it's W Inda? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, W Inda, probably just Winda works as well. So it's gonna be Rice for the first pick for Ketzu here to start this match off. It is a best of 7 format, so first player to 4 points will be taking home the victory. Nobody gonna be eliminated just yet, just gonna get dropped down into that loser's bracket. So not a lot on the line, but you definitely want to keep that winner's bracket run alive as long as humanly possible.
I mean, that's true, because once you're in the loser's bracket, you're kind of fighting for your life already. Whereas when you're in the winner's bracket, you still have a chance, even if you, let's say, lose 1 match. Yep. Because, like, at the end of the day, the only negative thing about being in the losing in the winner's bracket is if you do make it to grand finals, you'll eventually have to face your opponent in the winner's bracket twice, if that happens, that is.
Yeah, for sure. So as we get this match underway, a bit of an uphill battle for Ketzu, but I mean, anything can happen. All it really takes is 1 bad section in some of these maps, especially with how, I don't want to say easy they are, because they are pretty challenging for a round of 64 pool, but mistakes can be absolutely devastating if your opponent can keep it close, relatively speaking. But for right now, Hello Sun showing off just how early game, or showing off their prowess in terms of early game accuracy. 99.94 for them. Ketzu holding on to the FC as well, but falling a full % behind, and the missed boot in the transition into the second third of the map, and that's gonna help balloon this lead for Hello Sun at the moment.
Gotta say, Hello Sun's been really killing it so far. Despite all of those difficult transitions to, like, from technical to straightforward patterns, like that, for example, Hello Sun is able to demonstrate that regardless of what pattern you throw at them, they're able to hit it. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for Ketzu, as another drop happens. The lead is around 60,000 right now, but it tends to be that big when maps this short are played, and also not that many notes as well. So you have very little room of error in stuff like this.
Yeah, for sure. Not being able to stay up above that 400 combo cap really starts to tear away at your score. And as we make our way into the last sliver of this chart, Ketsu's still doing very well to keep it above that 98% range, but I mean, there's really not much you can do when your opponent is pulling off the run that they are at the moment. 99.95%, barely breaking a sweat on this first chart. A 998 to kick things off for Hello Sun as they take the first break point in this match to make it 1-0. That is 42 300s. Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah, 42 is... I actually didn't even get to see what was the ratio of the other player. However, that was a pretty big difference for the first pick, and that was not a good way to start, especially if that was your opening pick.
Yeah, I think it's one of those where it might be one of those moments where the pool as a whole might be just that one step above what you're comfortable playing, so you're having to push a lot harder, and that's really where the drops start to happen. So it is only the first pick. Definitely dust yourself off and get right back at it as we make our way into Rice 1. So it's going to be Destiny coming out here for Hello Sun's first pick, and this one, the speed chart, not very easy. So we're going from one extreme to the other.
I mean, you did say that we're picking another stream? Was it stream?
yes, just straight up streams and speed.
Well, personally, I'm not surprised. Hello Sun is known to be really good at accuracy in general, and the thing about stream maps is players tend to get high axe in this. Like example, if you have the most straightforward stream pattern, you'd be inclined to think that, let's say, 99.7 is enough, but like the top of the top act players get like 99.9s on that. So it's kind of like a big difference, even if the numbers say otherwise.
Yeah, for sure. When you start to get towards that like upper echelon of accuracy players, yeah, those hundreds of a percent make all the difference. So for Hello Sun to be able to pull off these 99.9 runs bodes well for them in this early game stage. Can probably fend off quite a number of players just based on their rice accuracy alone. Really doesn't have to dip into that LN skill set till probably mid or even late game if they make it that far. And the start, not too bad. Both players making up over that 400 combo cap. For the moment, it's really just going to come down to the accuracy. And on the transition out of that opening stream, there goes Ketzu dropping the combo here as we make our way into the back half of the chart.
Well, that is an unfortunate drop. I mean, I can't exactly blame them because this isn't really a very easy pattern to hit. I did see like mini jacks after the stream, so that was certainly a confusing one to hit. Meanwhile, Hello Son, as of this moment, is, I believe, still increasing that accuracy. I have barely seen a perfect or two from him at times.
Yeah, for sure. We're probably dealing with very low double-digit, maybe even single-digit numbers still for Hello Sun as we make our way into the last quarter of the chart. And it's the same story as the first Rice chart. Basically 2% the difference between the two players. Ketzu trying to hold on as best as they can, but I mean, these streams really do get very hard to read after a while. A lot of basically rolls, very, I don't want to say bursty, but just one-hand trills all over the place. It's just a mess to read if you're not comfortable with it. And Hello Sun basically pulling off the same thing they did in the first Rice chart. 59 300s this time, but still that 998, and they go up 2-0 now.
I mean, hey, getting the S rank is still really nice because, like, I did say streams tend to be the most straightforward patterns, but like they also tend to be some of the more physical ones. So getting an S certainly is no joke in general. I did see what patterns were thrown in the mix there, and Ketsu being able to hold that on is still an amazing job from them whatsoever. So regardless, I really do hope this isn't something that demotivates them, because at the end of the day, both players are just doing their best right now, and at the end of the day, isn't that what's the point of the game?
For sure. So long as you're finding some sort of self-improvement, that's really all it comes down to, and can't really fault yourself too much. You're going up against the number 2 seed after all, so I gotta give yourself some credit being able to hang on for as long as you are able to. And it looks like the protect is gonna come out for Ketsu. Rice 3 going to be here. BO Rink, an opportunity for Hello Sun to take a second break point. Ketsu an opportunity to try to find an avenue into this match.
What I'm thinking is, like, we had 2 short maps, and this one's like a little bit longer than the previous 2. So like, why not pick something that would minimize the punishment that will happen when I commit a mistake? Is why I think they're picking this. And the thing about longer maps is they require a lot of consistency, but think of it like exerting less power on a more like long period than exerting so much more power on a short period. And I feel like the lower seeds tend to be a little weaker when it comes to like bursts of strength rather than just doing it consistently. So I feel like this is an okay pick in general, and it's evident by Ketsu being able to hold at 99.2. However, when you're up against Hello Son, who is the number 2 seed, they also tend to have the strengths that the lower seeds have.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely an uphill struggle because everything that you feel like you might be good at, the person you're up against on the other side is probably just as, if not more, good than you are at it. But for right now, a very strong start once again for both players, easily clearing that 400 combo cap. Ketzu, the highest actually they've had in a map so far, 99.4 and climbing at the moment. Hello Sun, basically gonna stay on that perch, 99.98. Very a less physical map overall, like you were saying. It's more spread out over the course of these almost 3 minutes, so an opportunity to basically work on the accuracy. 99.99, almost gonna make 100, and Ketzu finds the break on the transition into the last third of the chart. The only break they found so far, but they were already behind. This is only gonna widen the lead as we make our way further into the chart.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you did say Hello Sun is literally at 99.99 right now, but you gotta give props to Ketzu. I mean, comparing it to the previous maps where I believe they held a 97 and a 96, right now they're holding their ground with a 99.35. Gotta give credit to that.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely can take something away from that, being able to hang on. The score discrepancy won't be as wide as it has been these last couple of maps. And as we make our way into this ending, last little chart left to go, all eyes on Hello Sun just to see how low that 300 count is going to be. Still holding on to basically 100% accuracy through this third rice chart.
And we're about it. Oh my goodness.
9994.
I only have, wait, what is 22? 22!
Act players, am I right?
And Ketsu almost full combo that. I only have one thing to say about Hello Sun score. Are you kidding me right? I just saw it in the chat. I just saw it in the chat and I thought it was cute.
That's crazy. I mean, at that point, you just gotta tip your cap and be like, okay, fine. You can do this. I mean, better than I can.
It just makes me wonder, like, you did say that, and now I'm thinking, what if LN was the better choice for Ketsu this whole time? But at the end of the day, oh hey, look, Eyes Have Hills. Wait, it's Hills Have Eyes?
Yes.
I actually thought it was Eyes Have Hills after what he said.
The old bait and switch, the dyslexia untied moment. And it's gonna be Rice 2. So an all Rice battle for the first match of the North American Mania tournament. Not over just yet, but
oh my god, I love I'm sorry, when you said that I remembered something else. But speaking of all Rice battle, it seems like the theme of this is like, who just plays Rice better? Because like both of them are doing pretty good. It just really depends on who's doing it better right now.
yeah, so fourth Rice chart in a row. Not gonna dive into the hybrids, not gonna dive into the LMs for this match. There's still plenty to come, so I imagine the later matches, hopefully, will have some cameo appearances for the lower half of the map pool. But for right now, we're gonna sample Rice 2. Hello Sun on the verge of closing this one out on their pick. Ketsu gonna try and hang on as best as they can, but I imagine the ball is not in their court for right now.
Well, if this is Hello Sun's Protect, then I'm pretty sure this is something that they're very confident in. And it's evident as Ketsu has dropped very early on, not even at the 400 combo cap. And unfortunately, more drops are happening, although it seems like they're not like very dirty messes. The only reason why the drops are pretty high is because, oh, what is going on here? I feel like there's some keyboard issues here actually, because missing of the break session isn't exactly what that happens every time.
Yeah, it could be one of those where they were probably straining to try and make their way through the 187 BPM jump stream, and as it calmed down and transitioned out of it, they might have still been like tensed up for it. And when it got into like the 1-2, maybe just overthought the section and found a break there, but climb back up into that 97% range, seeing it for just a moment before they find a break into the back half of the chart. Hello Sun still holding on to that 99.9% accuracy. It's just really a matter of how high the number is going to be on the side of Hello Sun for right now. And for Ketzu, I feel like just the BPM might be a little bit too high for them to handle, at least on this chart.
Yeah, and wow, that was an amazing pick for Hello Sun in general. Ketsu still holding on to the S rank. Certainly not over yet for them. It would be nice to see if an S rank would happen, right?
Yeah, for sure. Hanging on there. Drop Sand to 94 is not out of it just yet.
Wait, not
Gotta
yet,
get back in, but...
Oh, it's not over yet. Can Ketsu hold on? Hello Sun with an amazing... Oh, it's an effort from Ketsu. Amazing job holding it in. And 27. That's literally just 2 more than the misses that Ketsu had.
Yeah, there's a clear gap between these two players, and Hello Sun proving why they are one of the forces to be reckoned with, at least in round of 64, punching their ticket into the round of 32. On the winner's side, Ketsu gonna drop down into that lower bracket. Not out of it just yet, but definitely gonna be a bit of a battle from here on out. So that will do it for the first match of the North American Mania tournament. Gonna take quite a healthy break before we get into the next match, but oh boy, is it gonna be some non-stop action from there. The next match is going to be at 20 UTC. That will be Mataya taking on I Love Rekka's 3, one of the many I Love Rekka's players in this tournament. And then it's just going to be match after match after match after match. We do not stop until about 6 UTC. So from 20 to 6 UTC, there will probably be a match. So definitely stick around. Have a nice lengthy break. Get some rest. And we'll catch y'all tomorrow.